Hello and welcome, everyone, back to the 50-50 Take It or Leave It podcast. On today's episode, we have a guest, which you'll meet shortly. We go over esports at SMSU. We touch on what we haven't been doing because of the big sick, and we finish recapping our D&D session of Sunday night. Also, Mitch just reminded me to plug our Patreon, so if you want to plug Patreon, you guys can do that. Help support some starving college kids. Thanks, and let's jump into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 50-50 Take It or Leave It podcast. I am joined once again by my co-stars, Kyle, Mitch, and a guest, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Brandon.
Have you been here before?
I've been here once. This is my second time here, and I'm so happy to be here.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks for having me again.
I like it. Sweet.
So let's just hop right into it then, I guess, right away. What was it, Mitch? What was our topic?
So tonight, our main discussion point will be the esports team. We discussed it a little bit in one of our previous episodes, I think, or no?
I don't think we ever got around to it. I think the big sick kind of got in our way.
Yep. That's right. Okay. Well, last spring, SMSU started an esports team, and that's the whole reason Brandon is with us tonight again, is to discuss said collegiate esports team. They're far and few in this nation, but they're becoming increasingly popular.
Especially during these times.
Yeah.
Especially, well, it's the only active participating roster on campus right now. So that's
outside of the bubbles.
Outside of the bubbles. And baseball.
Oh, did baseball come back?
Is baseball done? Oh, no. I misunderstood you, Matt.
Oh.
Oh, my. I was just as confused. I was like,
baseball, huh?
Baseball. All right.
I thought you switched to pro because, basketball and hockey does the bubble thing. And then I was like, well, I thought baseball was still playing, and I got confused.
That's all right.
Yeah, so what a surprise. Mitch getting confused. Ha.
Jeez.
But no, so we are going to talk about esports. We're going to talk about where the rest of Season 1 is, because it's currently on the run. But episode 1 and 2 are there, so you can check.
At least we pre-recorded the Halloween episode.
Yeah, that's
We are ahead on one of those things, baby. Let's go.
We're on
Yes.
top.
Cannot wait to listen to it.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal,
It was
if I do
pretty
say
good.
so.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good.
great. Make sure to check it out.
All right, we touch up on D&D a little bit later then too, correct?
Yep. We'll catch up a little bit on D&D, kind of where that went during the second half of the spring semester, and where we're jumping back into it this semester with it. And then, you know how the second half of the podcast goes. It's 50-50 for a reason.
That's absolutely right.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so Brandon, I guess tell us about the esports team. I was there for a little bit in the spring, but I didn't end up joining in the end.
So, in the spring, I believe, so there was I think an email, and there's some posters out, and me, Kyle, and Matt, and a few of our friends decided to go check it out. And they had a fun little presentation about it, and they allowed us to see the setup that they're trying to buy with the cool chairs, monitors, and everything. I forget what's not Spencer, the other coach.
I think it's
Chris.
I'm pretty sure it's Chris.
I'm pretty sure it's Chris, but
Chris Himmelewski?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the athletic director.
Boom.
Yep.
That's the guy.
He is really excited about this.
Yeah.
He's really into it because it's a sport that actually is going to be played. And I believe that everyone who participates is going to have a great time, and everyone who watches too.
Yeah. When we started doing like tryouts and stuff for different teams, even before that, we did like a little Zoom meeting.
Yep.
And they discussed what kind of games they were going to have, because people were wondering how it was going to work for fall and spring, because they were going to split up like 5 to 6 games every semester.
Yep.
And the lineup for fall, I was really into.
I am also really into.
I looked at what we had, and I was like Valorant, Overwatch, which unfortunately isn't coming.
Not being played.
Which kind of was like, oh, okay.
Not enough players, unfortunately.
And then Smash was in there, Rocket League was in there, and
League.
And League. So
we have a League team.
We do. And we were excited
You
to
don't
see
seem
what
too happy about
I
that,
can't
Matt.
stand League of Legends.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
I will say I will respect them.
Yeah, mad respect to
But-
the league players, but it is just not my cup of tea.
It's not
No.
mine.
No, sir.
Mad
neither.
respect to the Rocket League players.
Oh,
I am not trying to train and learn how to fly a car.
no, sir.
That is so much work.
Doing backflips,
The one that
front
I think
flips.
if I ever joined, that I think I could do actually pretty good at is a Valorant, because that's basically just CS:GO, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Valorant is actually very similar to CS:GO, but it has some Overwatch elements,
Yeah.
which is actually really nice. It's also free if anyone wants to try it.
Yep.
But Valorant is like a search and destroy type base game. You get one life, and there's different characters with a variety of abilities, and kind of play as a team
Yeah.
And click on heads.
and
And you
click on heads.
Yeah, I started playing on PC for the first time this year, like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you picked up really quick.
It was a learning curve for sure, having to go from playing on controller to playing on a mouse and keyboard. Everything felt incredibly different, but after a while, like I had some people who were helping me out with what I had to do, how to set up everything for like optimal gameplay.
Yep.
And I'm glad I did, because it is a really good time. And I mean, you get to play games for your school. I mean, you basically get to just chillax and play video games.
Yeah, it's super.
When are
fun.
the hours?
Usually the esports arena is open from 3 to 8.
Yep.
If practices are happening, it's 3 to 10.
Yeah.
So they open like
So
fairly.
with each
early.
team, there's different practices, but for tryouts, which was last week, they all had different times. So Smash Brothers was, I believe, was that Friday or was it earlier in the week?
I think it might have been earlier in the week. I forget which day, but I remember.
It was kind of when
sure.
you kind of like first opened the room.
Yep.
And we basically went in there and just played Smash Brothers and try it out. And all he wanted to do was assess on how we played and everything.
Yep.
And now with coming in the second week, we're actually deciding roles for people.
Yep.
And deciding what character suits everyone best.
Yeah.
I am also going for I'm currently the team captain for the Super Smash Brothers team, and I'm really loving the potential that I'm seeing.
Yeah. I also joined the Smash Brothers team, so I'm on that as well. And even just like not even just the Smash team, but like from everyone that I've seen play, and like I've been in their Discord calls and I've been kind of like seeing how they communicate and how they practice. It's extremely chill. You don't seem like you're being alienated at all. Like if you do bad in a game, they're not gonna tell you like you suck. You know, they're gonna be like supportive. It's actually like really comforting to have that kind of support, because you know you would go into this and you're like, I've never played this game before in my life. I never played on PC. You come in, just play a few rounds. Everyone's really friendly. Everyone's really like, yeah, bro, like we'll help you out if you need it. We'll give you some pointers. And it's overall like really good, because if I didn't have that kind of support, I don't know, I probably would have dropped the game quick, because I would have been like, man, I ain't ever gonna play this game ever again. But
I'm super happy you stuck with it.
yeah, no, I'm glad I did, because I'm having a great time.
Matt, do you have anything that came up? That
Not-
you wanted? Cool, because
what?
I had something pop in my head real quick that I didn't think about until now when they were talking about kind of the environment and everything. Both, Brandon, you played high school sports, right?
Yeah.
Kyle, did you?
I wasn't exactly the athlete of the,
Okay.
you know,
Okay,
back in
well-
my day.
Well, I mean, you've done media stuff for the college, so you've been around collegiate athletes.
Yeah.
From both of your perspectives, how does the esports team and the environment and everything you guys have done, how do you relate that to the rest of the collegiate sports going on, or lack of going on?
You
You know what I mean?
so would you like a comparison of like how everyone
Well,
is?
talk about how you thought it was gonna be, like,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then what it actually is. Because Kyle touched on it a little bit. He, talked about the environment, how supportive it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which one would you like me to start with? I can start with football, the ones or like the more physically active sports, or would you like me to?
Like how
I think he's talking more about atmosphere.
Yeah.
compare the atmosphere, compare
Um,
the environment. Like,
Yeah, I was just asking. Do you
because-
want to hear my high school sports, or do you want to hear my esports experience first?
Yeah,
because there are a lot of people. At least I know a few people. I don't agree with them, but there are a few people out there that would argue that esports is not a sport, and it shouldn't be treated as such. It shouldn't be viewed as such. It's in their words, it's a video game. How is that a sport? And
I'd like to see them, 1v1 me on COD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
saying.
Yeah.
Play me on Rust.
and
Yeah.
like I said,
Like in normal sports, you actually have to learn how to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
You have to with real sports, we'll take football for example. You have to learn plays, you have to weight lift, you have to physically be active with it. And with esports, you also have to be physically active. You don't want to like die over on the chair or like something like that.
Yeah, that was like a
But
legit
you
thing in the
also
meeting.
have to learn the maps because
Yeah.
every game has a variety of maps. You also want to learn the matchups for,
Yep.
let's say you're playing a fighting game. So there's actually a lot of learning.
You got to know
involved.
counters. You got to know metas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to know the certain teams.
You got to understand time to kill for certain weapons in
Yeah.
certain games.
Yep.
Yep.
There's actually a lot that goes into it.
And on top of that, it's also not even just like from the player's perspective, but from like the sport itself. Like there's tournaments, leagues, championships. There are like worldwide events that are like all about just like esports in general.
Yeah.
And like some of the bigger events of the year are usually like fighting game tournaments or invitationals and stuff like that because there's such a draw, like people can say that esports isn't a sport, but like if you really think about it, it's just like any real sport. You're still competing against another team.
Yep.
You're still having to win something. There's still a goal in mind. There's always a reward for winning. There's always something to go after. I mean, it's just like any other sport. Like with football, I mean, there's physical contact and everything that you can't really get with an esport thing, but like if you really think about it, you take away all the physical stuff. It is just a mind game of thinking, strategizing, and going in with everything that you have in order to win. So,
Well, and I think even on top of that, compared to other sports, if you're losing and you're losing by a lot, you can still come back.
Yep.
Especially in like League, you can backdoor,
yep.
you can gank from the jungles, and like in Valorant, if you're down to one person, he can pop off
Yeah.
and kill the rest of the team, and then
yeah.
turn it around.
Another thing I'd like to add is that esports actually has a growing like crowd. People
Yeah.
are really interested, and that's what other sports are like. If
Yeah.
people are interested and want to watch it, they're gonna go out and go watch it.
There are some like great moments in esport history that are just like synonymous with everything, like people meme stuff all the time of like stuff that happened due to esport competition. Like everyone knows like the Wombo combo and everything like that. That came from esports and everything. There's like a sense of hype to it, like any sport. There's a sense of like, yeah, like let's do this, and like you get to spectate this and watch it as it happens. You may think like, oh, I can't, like I would rather be playing the game, but like you just sit down and you watch it, and you watch these professional like players just strategize, think, and go for these big plays and make big moves. That's got to be like the hypest thing, because like when it all works out, like you're popping off.
Well, and the
Guaranteed.
commentators too.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
commentators
The
make
commentators
it up too.
hype it up,
Yeah.
just like regular sports.
right?
Yep, exactly. They're telling a story, just like in sports. Like you're telling a story with, like, oh, you got two rival teams going at each other, and this like their matchups are just about the same. Like commentary, you put that in there too. Like it makes up for just about everything, and that's kind of like, I'm like, yeah, I want to play, but I'm also like, if I can cast this too, I would be absolutely ecstatic for sure.
That would be a lot of fun.
It would so be a lot of fun.
And back to the like atmosphere or whatever. So when I was walking into the room for like the first time and actually seeing people, I personally thought, well, when you view gamers, you kind of think of people who are like in the mom's basement or like never really getting out. But walking in there was actually a wide variety of people that I would not have expected to actually be there. And everyone's actually really welcoming. Like we said earlier, they actually will help you out with a game and tell you about it.
Yeah.
And that's also the same for like when I was in high school in those sports. Everyone is actually, it's a very good environment, nice and happy, and everyone just has similar interests. So they all like to reach a similar goal.
Yeah, and if you really think about it, like there are a lot of people here on campus that like play games and they love like FPSs and fighting and all that stuff. And it's like this is a big audience, and having esports here will draw out that audience, which will probably bring more people to come to the school, because having an esports team here at school would probably draw a lot more people to come, because it's, as Mitch said, it's there's few out there. But for the ones that are there, they're doing great. Like it's because of esports that are drawing the people in that are like, oh, I am not really an athlete, but like you play esports, you can be an athlete, and it gives you that sense of like, yeah, I'm representing my school. I'm doing great.
You get to play what you like to do.
Yeah, you get to do what you love.
Well, I was going to say, like, for the people who aren't athletes and they're like, yeah, I sunk, 1,000+ hours in the newest Call of Duty, like, oh, man. And then the school comes out and says, oh, well, we're actually implementing esports. You're like, all right, my time has come.
Sign me up. Exactly.
I think for the first year, though, too, it's going to matter for SMSU.
Yes.
Because if, they kind of just lose all the time, that's probably not going to be great for the program. But if you guys pull out some big wins, like, that'll definitely get more people to come to the school for esports.
Definitely.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to add after my experience today. Thanks. Where was I going with this?
One of your experiences?
My experience today, when I was actually practicing with my Valorant group today, we actually had a 4v4 in Valorant. So people who wanted to try out, we had this new guy named Trevor who is just...
He is extremely good. He came in.
This is his first time playing PC.
Sat down and said, this is my first time playing.
And he popped off.
Okay. When do you guys practice? Because I kind of want to try now. You guys have hyped me up.
I
want to try.
Nice.
Yeah.
So basically
I don't have time for it.
We've scheduled practices at 8 to 10.
Yeah. So they're later in the day.
But here's the thing, Matt. Here it is, right?
Since the room is open from 3 to 10 on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yep.
You are welcome to come in from that.
It's just Mondays and Tuesdays?
No, it's open every day from 3 to 8, but practices are usually Mondays and Tuesdays, so they open it later. But you can always come in after you do your stuff at 9 o'clock and just come in, and you can sit down and you can just absorb everything that's going on, because you take a seat, you just watch and let people play, and then if you totally want to, you can talk to the coach and he'll probably be like, sure, if you're interested in a game, just let me know. I'll sign you in. I'll put you into the Discord. I'll have you talk with the team captains about it. And if you want to set up a time to sit down and play, by all means, go over.
I just want to see if I'm any good, because if I'm not any good, then there's no reason to.
I literally started playing 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I'm on the team.
This is Kyle's first experience ever playing PC, and Valorant which is very similar to CS:GO, which is a very difficult game to actually pick up. And
I picked it up pretty quick.
Valorant's easier for new people because I feel like it's more giving. It's
definitely forgiving.
Too. It's not I forget when CS:GO came out, but
it was a while ago.
It's an old game.
Yeah.
And they came out with Valorant, and it's kind of like a nice updated version.
Yeah, and they give you abilities which helps ease the learning curve a little bit, because then it's I don't have to rely on master peaks or fast reflexes. I can just rely on skills.
Fast reflexes are still important in Valorant.
No, they definitely are, but they're not. It's not like CS:GO where it's I need to be extremely if I can't see them down the street in 1 millisecond, I'm gonna hit with an op and I'm done for.
I know that feeling.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
you've done it to me multiple times
anymore. It's like any gun. It's like a one-shot headshot.
Just saying.
It's like what I did to the teacher today.
Yeah. You clowned him.
Disrespected our coach.
Nice.
You clowned him, bro.
It's beautiful.
I
just said
Valorant.
Yeah, on Valorant.
Dude.
So
The snipers of Valorant are actually pretty affordable too, aren't they? Economy-wise.
Yeah, economy-wise, everything's actually really affordable. There's also different strategies you want to go into buying. So you get more money, obviously, when you win. Yep. And if you're attacking a plant site, and if you plan it, it gives you an extra couple of bucks, kind of like CS:GO,
Yep.
I think. But everything's actually really affordable, cheap. All guns are pretty decent.
Yeah,
You just
at max economy wise, I'm pretty sure everything's like 2,900. That's like the max that I've seen. There might be one that's like
the
3,000.
is 4,500.
I don't play snipers, so
Really?
nah.
The
I
operator is just a one-shot
yeah.
gun.
I usually just rock.
Wait, one shot
SMGs.
body?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like literally anywhere it'll one shot.
It'll-
Well, maybe not even
What?
your toes, but
It's the strongest weapon in the game.
Yeah, you
by
That's
just
far.
4,500.
yeah, it's 4,500.
Are
And
you serious?
Yeah,
if you
it
can buy it
shreds.
round 3.
You can buy it round 3
If you win 3 straight in a row,
You
you
can
could
buy
just
it on-
grab it and go ham.
Yeah.
Kind of like what
Dang.
coach decided to do.
And you also have to pay for like abilities though too, right?
Yes. So
Yep,
you
and
only
they're really cheap.
You only
You can-
start off with one ability,
yeah.
but they give it to you really cheap.
Yep.
They basically in CS:GO you buy flashbangs and whatnot, but certain characters have these abilities, so you base on
you
who
play-
you pick is how
yeah.
much it's going to cost.
And you don't have to like spend it on all abilities because there are some abilities that are like really situational where it's like I don't know if I'm ever really going to use that this round or this like side where I'm attacking or defending. I usually play like I only have like 2 characters on me right now, and it's Sova and Cypher. Sova is
Great
basically your recon, so it's like I shoot arrows out, I get recons, I know where people are. It's basically Hanzo
yeah.
from
No,
Overwatch.
it's an elven Hanzo.
It's an elven Hanzo, and then one is Cypher who sets up cameras and trap mines, and it can basically hold down a point for you.
Yep.
I did there were some nasty like mind screwing I was doing with the other team at one point. Like I was placing traps.
I
and
hated those traps.
it
I'll
was-
tell you what.
they worked.
I was
That's how you
trying
know
to
they worked.
rotate and I just get stuck.
Yeah, I
and
placed
you're-
them.
you
I
know
placed
where
them
I
in
am.
the. I placed them in the places that I thought you guys were gonna go. I was like, they're gonna probably go spawn, or they're probably gonna go through B mid, or they're definitely going through spawn. Like there will be.
Everyone
someone
puts
flanking.
them out or in different places, and I like how you put them in.
I kept putting them in
Anywhere.
the same spot just
I
because I was
hated
like,
it.
they have to be going the same way, and it worked.
Who is the toxic person that's voiced by Ashley Birch?
Ooh,
What's their name?
Viper? You mean the person who's literally toxic, or throwing
Are
out
you
toxin
the
bombs?
voice actor?
Well, I was talking about the voice actor, but what's the character name? The one who, when you get the ult, it's like a poison cloud.
Yeah, Viper.
Yeah, Viper.
Viper. All
Yeah,
right.
Viper
yeah.
is not bad.
She's
It seems like
She
the most
is-
versatile to me. Like
Ooh,
you can put up walls. You
nah,
got that
bro.
ult is amazing,
Fe-
especially if you're planting.
they're-
the alt. Yes, is
The ult
actually
is
very nice for
very
planning.
good. Yeah,
Viper can just hide in it while other people actually have to walk in.
Yeah,
and
she's
have
definitely-
a decaying effect.
she's definitely the planner if you have her on the team, and her ult's ready, of
No,
course.
like literally, the only way to get rid of that giant cloud is to kill her.
Yeah, and
And
she's gonna be
yeah.
hiding, so it's
You
kind of like
your team just literally has to go running in there and try to find her,
yeah.
or just get lucky and shoot through it.
Yeah, there's some really good ults in that game.
I've
and
seen
then-
some terrible things that have happened
Yeah.
to Viper, just spraying into there. Yeah.
There have
yeah.
been some baller plays that I've seen with like everyone has like pretty good ults, but like there are some that are just leagues above like everyone
Killjoy
else.
is broken.
Killjoy's is probably the best one in the game because it basically detains everybody in a big orb, so
You
they
cannot
can't shoot.
use your guns.
They can't
you
move.
You can't move well either.
No, you're basically stunned for like a good.
Think of a
long time.
flashbang that just like throws your weapon away too.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it works wonders though for like planning as well. So
Yep.
The
It's-
knife girl seems like she has the worst ult.
nah, Jet's
Oh,
good.
actually,
She's
What?
good, dude.
if you this in Valorant, you want to stay still to actually shoot
Yeah.
accurately, and you can't really strafe. But with Jet and her knives,
She can do
they
that.
actually go right where you click. So she moves around a lot,
Yeah.
and if you have really good accuracy, they'll kill
Oh
the
yeah,
target.
they will definitely do some damage.
You gotta get a headshot though to kill.
Nope.
no.
If you get a headshot, that's a one shot. But if
But
you,
you can
throw
still
two
throw
or
the body.
three knives in the body,
You're good.
dead.
Yeah.
Or you
Alright.
do a Zenyatta and like all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. But it does get intense. There are some great moments. You're not gonna win every game, but like even when you lose, you feel like it's just like, hey, it's just another game. There's not really. It's not like you get mad or frustrated about it all the way.
Or you use my excuse, warm up game.
For a warm up game every time,
It's
Mulligan.
a warm up, dude.
Bro, come
Yo,
on.
this is your fifth one.
3 warm ups, bro. 3 warm ups.
Dude, my hand's still getting warm.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
swear.
Bro, the species different from mine at home. All right. But yeah, overall, the teams, everything, like even with like just going back to esports in general and the esports team, I would highly recommend just coming down to the arena just to see how it is.
Yep.
It's still in the middle of renovations. They just haven't gotten the whole shebang yet. We're still painting the walls.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for them desks and chairs to come in. But
Hey,
you know,
the
we-
wall's blue
yo.
and it's part.
yeah,
like,
there's a side that's all white, one side that's like light blue and a dark blue, and then the other side is just back to that light blue.
Yeah.
It is all over the place. But you ignore that,
It's pretty fun.
it's not bad. I really enjoy it.
Mitch, you look like you got something on your mind.
No, I just like listening to it because I love seeing the potential with esports. I mean,
Yeah.
I get to see it from so many different lights. I work in athletics now, so talking about esports as if it is a sport, it's a collegiate sport. So I mean, today, a lot of things we have to do is update rosters and get the website ready. And Matt just stubbed his toe.
It was my knee.
Oh, his knee. He looks in like a lot of pain. But I mean, today we took part of the esports team down and we shot headshots for everyone. And it's weird because a week and a half ago I did the same thing for a football team of like almost 150 guys. And then today we did the same exact thing with the esports team. It's wild and crazy for me to hear you guys talk about this stuff and just kind of relate it back to me, like playing video games. Like my dad used to be a hardcore gamer, like as hard as you can go in the early 2000s. LAN parties at the library, like
Good days.
20,
Yeah, man.
20, 30 guys
RuneScape.
all lining up playing Unreal Tournament, Battlefield. I don't know what else my dad played. I only went to one
Well,
LAN party.
Back in the day, LAN parties were for Call of Duty, Black Ops, Zombies.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Remember
sir.
those.
1 and 2.
I'm talking like 2002, 2003.
No, I know.
But yeah, I get what you're saying too. Like, so it's really cool to see how far the overall gaming community has come. Like, when I'm 10 years old and I'm playing Need for Speed Underground, I can't imagine. I'm not saying Need for Speed is an esports game, but the same premise, like the same premise of just competitively playing video games, like it's kind of unreal for me. Like even Pokemon Go. When I'm 9 years old playing Pokemon Green on my Game Boy Advanced or SP. I played it on the DS because the DS had that adapter in the back. Yeah, playing Pokemon Green or Pokemon, Green, Leaf Green. Sorry, not Green, Leaf Green. Playing Pokemon Leaf Green when I was 9 and competitively battling against people from the upper Minnesota is wild to think that's actually happened.
At one point in time, I played Pokemon Go pretty regularly, and I think it was the Beast Cup that came up was the one I competed in.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, oh, I've actually got a pretty good team. I've got basically a killer shiny Eevee evolved to Umbreon. I had a shiny Umbreon.
Yeah,
I had
that's pretty cool.
Larion, and then I had a Sandslash, I
Yep.
believe. And that was a pretty well-rounded team.
Right.
Mitch mopped the floor with me.
If they had Pokemon Go for this esports team, I would be all over
And,
that.
and
But
that's the thing too with the esports team. Like, I'm pretty sure if you were just to go up to Spencer, our coach, and just be like, you know what game I think would be kind of cool to play for esports? This or this. If you can get other people to also agree with you and say, yes, I think it would be cool to see this, you can make it like an actual sport.
right.
It's pretty cool. Like, if you get enough people to draw in that kind of like audience, then you can actually make it happen.
Right.
Yep.
Like, I wanted to see more fighting games, honestly, because I'm like, I just love me some
Yeah.
fighters, bro.
Fighting-
Is there a new
games is
Tekken
awesome.
coming out?
I believe they've been hyping a new season for Tekken 7.
Okay.
Ah.
I know when the PS5 comes out, there's a possibility of a new Street Fighter coming out. But as for Tekken, they're just like new season, so there's probably going to be newer characters coming out sooner or later. I know Fighters, like Dragon Ball Fighters, is also getting a new character soon and probably another pass because they love sending out more characters. Yes, sir. But yeah, I love I do adore watching some good FPSs, but like where I want to be is like near the FGC area where I'm like, and for those who don't know, that means the fighting game community. It's like things like Street Fighter, Dragon Ball Fighters, Tekken, Smash Bros. That's where I want to be at.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Injustice.
They've been falling off the wheel a little bit, but Mortal Kombat was it back in the day.
Yeah, I used to hit it up.
Did they take off a Mortal Kombat 11?
Yeah.
Aren't they like They were going to replace it with Marvel versus Capcom 2
at Evo, which is the biggest event of the year for fighting games, of course. They took out some. They surprised a lot of people with what they had for lineups. They took out some newer fighting games and replaced them with some fan favorites or some ones that you like. There was
Smash Ultimate with
one of the most surprising ones to me was a game called Them's Fighting Herds, where it's basically like a fighting game with My Little Pony looking characters and they fight.
Oh my gosh.
That was going to be at Evo. They also were going to do Skullgirls, which I've heard it's actually not a bad fighting game.
Samurai Showdown
was coming. I think Soul Calibur was happening.
The new Samurai Jack game came out. I'm sorry to go off topic.
Yeah, no,
did you guys see that?
That did come out. A Battle Through Time.
I did not hear about that.
It is.
Yeah.
It came out.
Is it just on PlayStation?
It's on Xbox.
No, it's not just on PlayStation.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you can get it.
Dude, from the gameplay and everything, it's pretty cool.
All right.
I watched a playthrough of it. It's pretty dope.
Yeah. Like, there's like battle damage on Samurai Jack.
Does it look like the show?
I mean, if you like CG 3D animated Samurai Jack, then yes.
They have to go 3D with it, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's pretty close.
It
I would
holds up
say
pretty well,
Yeah.
and it's actually like really good. I'm pretty sure it picks up. I think around it picks up around like what season 5, like after maybe like a little bit after, and it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Sounds pretty awesome.
It's good. I was hyped.
Oh yeah,
I might have to. I get paid Thursday. Sounds good.
I might have to sit back and rewatch Samurai Jack, which is on Hulu.
Yo,
Might hit that
new
up.
show.
New show. Yeah, but I
think on that, I think we should call it for the first half. Take a little break. We'll come back, and yeah, we'll have that second half of 50-50. Take it or leave it.
And we are back on the 50-50 podcast. We just got done from our break. We talked about a little bit of esports, had a nice time, I was really enjoying our talks. However, we've reached the second half of our podcast, which means it's really only one thing we can do. It's time for our little D&D discussion. But before that, I guess we can explain a little bit about what's been going on with the Big Sick and everything.
Yeah. So at this point, when this video gets posted, the remainder of season 1 will not be out yet, unfortunately. And there's reasons for this. There are legitimate reasons. The first and biggest is that the world's been in a pandemic. So
And we can't say the name of it because YouTube does not like that.
Yep. So we've labeled it as the Big Sick, or I'll call it a pandemic, or whatever we want to. Y'all know what we're talking about. Matt just gave me a look like, don't call it pandemic. So I'm like, no, okay, fine. We'll call it the Big Sick.
So let's say it a third time.
Anyway.
But yeah, the Big Sick. It's made things rough. We pre-recorded a few.
Yep. So we have two episodes left for season 1.
Yep.
Season 1 consists of 4 episodes.
There will be many more in season 2.
Yep,
Yes, sir.
many more. Now that we have access to our equipment again.
Can't wait to listen.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we also, before we left for the Big Sick, before we all left campus, we were able to pre-record Halloween special. So make sure to
Yes,
tune
sir.
tune in on Halloween because we actually won't be in the studio that night. We will be busy doing some spookiness of our own. I
This is true.
I don't know
Some planned
exactly.
spookiness.
Yeah, some planned
Ooh,
spookiness by our
spook.
host Matt. All I know about it is that it involves D&D.
This is true.
I don't know much else.
All right.
I know it's
I'm
spooky.
excited. I am excited for this for sure.
Yes,
That
very, very
I
good.
am. Yes.
Mm.
All right.
Yep. So, also the other reason, I may have lost the SD card that the two episodes in the Halloween episode were on for a solid 2 months.
Quick question:
Yeah.
is that it on the table?
Yes,
Yeah, we managed to
I found it.
recover
Yeah, Mitch,
it.
where was it?
Did we really have to talk about that?
Yes.
Well, yeah, because who told you to look in that spot?
Okay. Well,
No, I was just curious because isn't
Matt-
that supposed to be in the thing?
Well, he took one
It's
out and
it's
then
a
put
micro
another one
SD.
in.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I was just like,
that's why
Have
we
we
had to
just-
find that SD card because it's got.
Right.
Yeah. Not to get into too much detail, but anyway,
yep.
Matt told me to check my jacket pockets. Now, at my
Good call.
at my room,
I would also like to point out that Mitch gave me a very dismissive look when I said that, too.
Would never be in there.
I
He gave me a look like, what are you, stupid, man? It's not going to be my jacket pocket.
Holy shit! It's in my jacket pocket.
God, we did so well.
I'm so sorry.
I'm going to be the one who goes back and edits this.
I'm so sorry, and I'm a guest. I feel.
We're just
bad.
going to use that Mitch soundbite. It's just
oh,
going to go over it.
I love it. Thank you. I'm sorry for that.
Oh, man.
I feel like I ruined it.
You
no,
did it.
you're
You did it.
fine.
Ah.
Yeah,
Anyway, so when Matt said to look in my jacket pocket, I was like, it's not my jacket pocket because I've wore all my jackets at college and it's not in there. I know it's not. It's packed away in my office tote of stuff. Yeah, it
Also
wasn't.
a
It was in my
jacket?
jacket at home. I
Was it a nice looking jacket?
yeah, it was actually a good jacket I got from a Mankato thrift store. So
Ooh,
yeah,
spicy.
I'm actually really glad that you found it because I mean, I was just thinking.
Me too.
The fact that it was in a jacket pocket at your house, I was gonna be like, I wouldn't be surprised if your parents were just like, man, this kid, he dirty. I gotta clean out all his clothes, and he just tossed all of his stuff in the wash,
well,
and then there goes your
Ooh.
SD card and everything that you wanted in that just gone. And
right. And I feel like normally if it had been in like my bedroom closet or the main closet in the house, this would be true. However, it was by the front door closet, but we don't actually use the front door. We go through the garage, so no one ever looks in that closet. And I just happened to be home last Friday for my brother's football game. It was raining a lot. I was like, I need a heavier jacket. So I go to the closet, throw on my jacket, reach my hand into my pocket.
And lo and behold.
Lo and behold, there it is.
Hallelujah.
You should have heard the scream I let out in my house when I felt that and I looked at it and it was the SD card for the podcast.
I'm picturing like a jump freeze frame.
Yep,
It
yep.
was. My parents both gave me huge bug-eyed looks and they were like, what's going on? And I was like, I found my SD card.
You're like, there's no need to panic. I'm fine.
This is
I've
just
done
joy.
it.
I will say, when I was when I was frantically looking for my SD card over the summer, because I lost this a while ago. I just didn't tell Matt or Kyle because I didn't want to.
My God.
Yeah, I think I casually brought it up to him one time. I'm like, hey, so how's like the rest of it? I kind of want to hear that Halloween
Yeah.
episode. And he's like, yeah, I'm working on it.
It's coming
Yeah,
along.
It's coming along, you know.
What a play
Still a couple of things I got to fix. And I'm like, okay.
There's still like just
Yep.
a small couple of things.
Little did they know, the SD card was nowhere to be found.
I lost it for 2 whole months.
I
They
did.
didn't even know.
And when I told my dad, I asked him, I was like, have you seen a small black SD card laying around the house? He's like,
No, son, I've never seen that in my life.
What are you
What's an
talking about?
SD card again?
he's not that old.
Does that sound for an N64? You know, the cartridge?
Is that a cartridge? Yeah, do I got to blow on it?
I mean, maybe.
Shoot, maybe.
You know what he said to me?
What did he
What?
say?
He was like, now, I know you're not going to want to hear this, but, you know, maybe this is a good lesson for you to maybe back up your digital files. I'm like,
Take this as a lesson, son. You should have just
you
stuck
should
to.
not have told me
You
that.
should've
Did you
stuck
just
to the
turn
cloud.
this into a learning moment, old man?
You're going
Bring
to tell
it.
me, the 4-year broadcasting major that's been shoved down the throat, always back up your files? I know that.
You should have.
Yes.
You should have trusted the cloud, son. You
Just
should've
a
trusted the
reminder.
cloud.
Not a lesson, but a reminder.
I thought I had backed it up on the cloud.
You didn't.
Nope, I did not.
You did not.
You totally did not.
Because I looked on my hard drive. Oh, it's not there. That's weird. Well, it's probably on OneDrive. Wasn't on
No.
OneDrive. I'm like,
Ew.
well, it's probably it's on the SD card. I'll go grab the SD card.
Where's
Couldn't find the SD card. I'm like, where is it?
Hey, now you can do it now though.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
So,
But
That was-
speaking of looking for things, Mitch, are you still traumatized after our last D&D session?
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
so defeated. He's just. Yeah.
It was it was pretty dark.
I really
Dude,
want to hear this.
It was. I mean, it was literally dark.
It was. It was that too.
But it was also like, oh my god, there's a lot of stuff in here. Where I'm like, I'm kind of glad I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah, multiple times I had people like scoffing and saying profanities at the stuff. Yeah.
It was mostly me. I was saying a lot of it because I was just like, oh, ooh.
Something I actually really liked about the previous session we had on Sunday was the amount of role playing we got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm a sucker for good battle sequences, but
Mm-hmm.
the role playing
Yeah, definitely.
for me, I really enjoyed that.
They definitely
I also like pretending to be a king.
Oh yeah, there was. Yeah,
I mean, not a king, but yeah.
you were just
A
You know.
liege.
Dominus.
Dominus, sorry. Yep, Dominus.
That's all right. That's all right.
Oh, that's like the dude from Destiny. Sorry.
Oh, it is like Dominus.
Actually, before we get into the session, I showed Kyle and Brant. I guess you've seen it too, Matt, but I made some edits. What did you think of the crest?
It's good. Yeah.
I did make some edits, and I wanted.
Okay.
I know we're doing this live, but
Yeah. We're doing it live.
we're doing it live. Okay, so
Okay, guys.
take a look at it, and then if you go.
So
It
basically,
looks
what,
like a shield.
Yeah, so basically what Mitch is doing is showing his character's like family crest to Matt to because he's been thinking about making some stuff for it,
Yeah.
stickers and whatnot. And
I still have to change the chest, but
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it looked really good.
which
does.
one do you like better, the lighter wolf or the lighter gray or the darker gray on the wolf?
I will say this, just as a side note, the primary color of the stock Guardian Dominion is white.
Okay, that's good to know.
All right, so
Because I
change
think
that.
when we first were looking at this, we decided that the wolf was going to be white, I think.
Probably. We did, yeah.
Yes.
That was a long time ago.
It was, to
That was
be
before the
100%
big
fair.
sick.
It absolutely was. It looks dope, though. It looks very good. I like the SD as well.
Yeah.
For stock Guardian Dominion for outside.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks good. And then just the fire would be the other thing,
Yep.
too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I really enjoyed the whole session. I mean, I didn't get to go through what everyone else went through, but
I mean, you get your own special thing.
yeah. Everyone came back after a long hiatus, so they had to get back into the groove of things. It was kind of funny that Mitch kind of forgot that he had an accent since the last time, but it's understandable.
I don't think I had an accent.
You totally had one, dude.
You definitely had a manner of speech.
Yeah,
Okay, I was gonna say I didn't do an accent because
it was like
I like accents, but I can't
Yeah.
hold them worth.
it was like a
anything.
regal. It's like a regal, posh, like preppy sounding manner.
100% preppy, like I'm better than you, kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you were a very cocky individual.
Like if you think of like Chad,
yeah.
but if Chad was a wimp and his dad owned a golf course.
Yes.
Oh.
That was
Yeah,
kind
am
of
I
it.
painting a picture for you?
Yeah. I see it right now.
Yeah.
He's got the sweater tied behind
Yeah.
him. Yeah, he's got the khaki shorts.
The Escott.
Well, that's what I
Okay.
strive. That's what I
Yep.
strive for, in life. I try to be the frat president, of which my father, grandfather, and great grandfather were also presidents of. So
I was.
Yes.
My
I-
dad's the owner of the country club.
Whoa.
You're being
I-
taken
I
away.
I
strive-
play
that.
tennis in my free time.
Yes, sir.
Whoa, you guys are awesome.
Hey, you guys are pretty cool.
Yep.
I am curious what happened in this
Okay.
session.
So, if you remember, we were still on the vessel.
Yes.
of
Not
Destiny.
the submarine, because
Not
those
the
don't
submarine
exist.
because we don't call it that. However, everyone else was in their separate rooms going through their what they supposed thought of as trials. I was currently being in the captain's chair, being stuck there, and then I felt like fingers begin to, grab my face, and they phased through my head, and they started like taking memories out, and my patron helped me out, threw me into a whole new area, but it was like the same area in a different reality, and I got to meet Lucifer.
What the?
His name
Yeah.
was Lucifer.
His name was Lucifer.
That
I
sounds
got to
awesome.
meet Lucifer.
And he was in reality, get this, number 666.
That's a big number.
Yeah. And
Well, now that makes sense.
yes, it does.
I like that, by the way. I thought that was clever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like,
And so while that was happening, I made a deal with him. Not sure what the deal will entail, but we will see when it comes.
It's a favor.
A favor. I get to do a favor for him because he took me back to where I had to
A
be.
favor for a favor.
I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
looking forward to dealing with that.
You won't be.
I am.
I
only
know
one.
you
I
are.
feel like the only
That's why
person
you
who
wrote
would.
it in.
I feel like the only person who would probably have to deal with it the most would probably be.
Yeah, but we're
Me.
gonna help you, and I'm
Yeah.
not looking as my character, as in character.
You just don't
I,
want to help me.
I don't
get
want
it.
to help you, but I guess
Yeah.
whatever.
I think. Yeah. And then because of that, Lucifer.
Did you guys like the club?
Oh, dude, I wish I could have been there.
I know.
You should have been in the captain's chair, bro.
It was a big rave slash.
It was.
orgy?
It was a
It was
big.
a strip club. It was
Wait,
a strip
are
club.
You still on the chair?
No.
No.
I got taken out, and I walked back to the captain's quarters, and I was out of my chair. I was able to go back to my reality, and I was out of the chair. So for the first time since I've been on the vessel, I've been able to now fully explore.
Hey, what's everything look like?
Oh, well, dilapidated, dark,
Yeah, with the
quiet,
pulsing.
eerily quiet.
Oh, not anymore.
No,
Yeah.
it's still pulsing.
Still pulsing. Okay, that's
So-
so cool.
It's a
Basically,
different color in reality 666.
so basically,
Probably red.
as I explore, because I don't know where anybody is because it's eerily quiet, right? And I'm knocking on the doors, and of course, there's no one there
Yeah.
because you open them up and they're not there. It was up until I got to where. Oh, you want to?
I just want to. I just
Yeah,
pause
yeah.
one thing. Brandon, do you remember what you did last time in the session?
I
When-
do.
Yeah. What? Talk to me about that.
So what I remember, what I was doing, I remember diving into a pool.
Yep.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you
'Cause I
did.
saw
you
some eyes, and I
Yes,
was
you
just
did.
like, "Hey, what's down there? Let's go."
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yep. I
And
don't care.
then I looked up, and it was above me.
Yep.
And I don't remember exactly how I got out.
You just got
You
out.
just got out.
You just
I
got out.
Yeah, I got out. Then
And you went to your room.
Then
You
I went to a
your
room,
Yep.
Mhm.
a very dark room.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but it was a personalized room.
mhm.
Yes, it was very familiar to my character.
So-
actually,
Here was the thing, right?
nice.
And then it
So-
all started going downhill from there.
Oh my
So-
gosh! As the DM watching, and I was like, "Somebody, please put this together." The pool was like a gateway into the other. So there's
Yeah.
regular, and then there's just above it, which is where they like
Yeah.
feed on you basically.
Yeah.
And he was looking for him, and I'm like, "Go in the pool."
Go in the pool.
He's like, "I've searched everywhere." I'm like, "You haven't.
You haven't checked it.
You haven't searched everywhere."
I'm
Yeah.
glad I'm the first one to.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah,
I
so
need to
basically it was me trying to find where everyone else was. And the first person I found was Leatfa because she was able to wake herself up first from her nightmare thanks to the centipede thing.
The stone centipede.
Mm-hmm. And then I only got there because I like heard her muffled screams, and I got in there, and there was like these elongated, dark shadow creatures just siphoning the life force from her as she's like screaming.
Well, you didn't see him right away.
I didn't see him right away. It was invisible to me, but to her, she saw everything because she had the centipede in her.
Which, by the way,
body.
the centipede, don't get me wrong, it helps us, but the fact that it only speaks in riddles,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, bro.
What do you
Yeah,
mean
bro.
I don't know what you're
Bro,
talking
what are you
about?
talking about, bro?
Yeah.
Anywho,
He's the most helpful person you've ever met.
I was curious if you were to describe that creature.
oh, okay. So
I remember talking about it vaguely. I remember it
have
being
you seen like Gravity Falls? Like
No.
at all? Oh, dude.
Yeah.
There's a creature in the Gravity Falls. I think it's the Hideaway or something like that.
The hide behind
The
was
hide
one of the
behind?
inspirations
Yeah.
for it.
It's basically.
We're not looking it up on my phone again.
have you seen?
Have you seen Ouija?
Yeah, the
the movie?
new Ouija one, the newer one with
About
the
the
little
Ouija
girl.
board?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we could
Mitch,
do that.
bring your phone.
Yeah.
Let
It's
me.
basically it's like I would even consider it to be like a
What, are you looking it up
Wendigo.
on yours?
I'm looking up something that I thought it was.
Oh,
It's
I
like
was
to
gonna say, I can
me,
look it up
like
on
I
yours.
visualize it as a Wendigo from Until Dawn, but it's all dark with yellow eyes, and it's basically made of like shadow more than it is of like actual flesh. But like, you see these. I don't see them, but Leafa does, and I get in there, and she's like completely gaunt and weak. Like she's completely like gray, like to the bone. Like she is completely weakened. And I managed to like take out a couple, or like one of them, two of them, before it escapes. And then
That's terrifying.
yeah, he's showing you the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so creepy.
yeah, it's
Now knowing that it didn't look like that, but like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely worse.
Wow.
Yeah. So I finally off of there. She's completely weakened.
Did you talk about the
And-
veins?
Yep, the veins, like, so the creatures have like veins that kind of come from like their maw.
Yep.
And it siphons their life force while they also feed on like you're basically in a nightmare. And-
Night terrors.
Yeah.
Another question: is the room to her what she was imagining?
When
And is
she
the room
woke up,
different to you?
when she woke up, it was back to normal, I believe.
Yeah,
Right? Like it was just
because when you described it to
You
us,
said the
we
bed was
woke
just
up and
like-
it was normal.
it was
room
back-
Yeah,
it was back to what
yeah.
it was.
Because when we walked in there, it was all personalized. Like
Yep.
mine was very northern,
Yeah.
Viking,
Mhm.
European type style, and Dan's was very peasant village.
It was a lot more homely.
Yeah.
homely and
So
yeah.
so she
When
got
we
out of
woke
it
up.
first. I saved her from that, and then that's when we started looking around everywhere.
Yep.
And like I'm not gonna lie, the first roll that I ever did was like a nat 1, so I was great.
So you also have to remember, like this is just for clarification.
Yeah.
It was normal when she woke up
Right.
because she was in the normal reality.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
She was
She was in the.
because you hadn't gone in the pool yet.
You guys hadn't gotten the pool yet.
So-
You said that, and I was like, well, let me think back because in the other reality,
Yeah. It's
the rooms are
personalized.
personalized.
Yeah.
Not anymore because you're not in there. But when you were fighting in Edwin Callister's room,
Oh no, you did describe the room as
Yep.
homely. Yep, that's right.
So
Yep.
So basically, we search, we find the pool. I go in the pool. I leave
Leafa
like
eats
lay
a
off.
Cliff
Yep.
bar.
yeah.
Leafa-
She's just chilling, eating a Cliff Bar.
And I go
As-
back and
Kyle's freaking messing people
Oh,
up.
did you tell him about the strength?
oh yeah.
Oh, we haven't
So
talked about that
basically,
yet.
when you're caught in the dream stuff,
Yep.
and you're doing night terrors, for every night terror, it saps you of like your strength.
Oh gosh.
So
I rolled a D6 for every night terror.
So basically, every character, excluding me, because I didn't go in, lost all of their strength and only had like some had 0, some had 1,
So
some had 2.
so Liz and Sarah, aka Leatfa and Brazil.
Yep.
They both are sitting at 1 strength.
Yep.
And
Like
so is
2.
Dan.
So is
Isn't
So
he?
is
Dan.
Dan.
The only one-
Edwin Callister
The
doesn't
only
want.
one
The only
who
one that's negative
is
is me.
Zion.
Somebody else had 0.
Yeah.
Maybe that was Liz. Liz
Liz had 0.
Liz was at 0. Dan and
yeah.
that
Sarah were
stinks.
at 1.
Yeah.
I'm
They-
at -3
He
strength.
literally can't move or
he,
speak.
he goes
or-
comatose because he lost so much.
Yeah.
I can't open my eyes.
Can you go like?
No, he can't speak. He's
Nothing.
out. Yeah, we
I
got
mean,
there.
I'm there, but I'm not.
That stinks.
So-
Does a comatose patient make any fucking noise?
Yeah.
I mean, when they wake up.
So, as I'm doing this, I go on like this solo mission kind of just like, I'm just going to find where everyone is. I go back to the gateway. and I see like there's footprints because we tracked one of them to like the pool area, and we go into the engine room because because in the previous in the vessel in the other reality I was like, can I check the engine room? And I looked there, and then I went to this other reality and I was about to go to where that thing was leading, but then I was just like, well, what if I look at the engine room in this reality and see how that goes? And I can't open the door because it's blocked by something. So I stand back, hit with a good all-American, non-partisan Eldritch Blast from my right hand, and I
put a boot in your ass. It's the Eldritch Blast way.
Hey,
so
Uncle Sam.
I come in, and there's these vines on the engine that's like siphoning energy from it, and above it on the ceiling is this big four-eyed green humanoid,
I thought it was
black humanoid thing that just has like, to me it looked like I was visualizing it as like the Hive Queen from like Alien, but like in more of a human form, and it's just kind of feeding off of the engine. And so I just kind of back up real slow and go to where Edwin's room is, and I'm not gonna lie, this whole like entire scuffle of like saving everybody, I got messed up so bad. I was getting mollywopped by everything. I think I went down like twice.
You went down 3 times.
3 times. And I was like, golly, I'm getting messed up. But luckily,
Dang.
Okay. Sorry
Yeah,
to interrupt.
go for it.
But those things weren't that hard to hit. They weren't that hard to hit, and they didn't have that much.
the only thing was
to
that
'em.
you couldn't see them. So you got disadvantage on that. That's why it was harder to fight them. And when they did hit you, they had like double strike, basically. And
Multi-attack.
They had multi-attack.
A
And
lot
they
of
also
monsters have that.
and they also had like the drain thing.
Drain.
It was just like a lot of stuff. that you
Drain
couldn't-
will mess you up.
Yeah.
And it also heals them.
Yeah. So luckily we didn't get hit by that a lot, which was, and I
I was
also
gonna say, because when we landed hits, which wasn't very often because a lot of the party was shooting at disadvantage.
Eldritch Blast.
But once we landed a hit, it
They
was
were-
like
Not
one-
everyone was at disadvantage.
Oh, that's right. Kyle wasn't.
Wow.
Well, because he had the centipede,
I
so he
bought it
had
with
true
the
sight.
centipede. Yep. Which was really helpful.
Well,
keep-
yeah.
I keep picturing like Tokyo Ghoul. I keep picturing like season 1, the ending,
Yeah.
centipede torture.
Oh,
That for some reason I think of a
That's what you
centipede
think?
like that, and I'm just like, wow, that thing's really in there.
yeah, really in there.
Not
Yeah.
quite.
So we go around, and then while everyone's going through their like separate night terrors, and in order we go like Edwin, then we save Brazil, and then we save Zion, who's last, and Zion is on the verge of death. And he was like kind of one of the harder ones to go at, because at this point everyone's at like almost out. We used all of our healing potions on me because I kept going down and I was the only one who could see them.
Not all the healing potions are used, though.
Yeah, not
You
all
have
of them.
some?
I have a healing potion, but I
Nice.
couldn't say that in session because I am comatose.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I can't talk right
Probably a
Ooh.
good thing to keep to yourself anyway.
yeah, and
I wasn't going to tell
Hey, who has a healing potion?
overall,
Anybody got a healing potion? I'm almost down.
like
Man, this
overall,
stuff's
I
great.
really enjoyed the session because
What did you guys think of the night terrors, though?
the night I was actually about to get into that. I know I
Sorry.
didn't go through any, but from like an outside perspective, like I know I couldn't like metagame, and I'm not going to, but like hearing everyone's like night terrors from me made me think, I wonder what mine would have been like if I got caught. And I bet I had one that was like extremely bad.
Probably terrifying.
Oh yeah,
Nobody had good ones.
yeah, like mine would have been probably
Well,
like
Edwin
ugh,
started good,
which is the
Yes,
worst. That's-
it did.
That's the
ended terribly.
That's the worst one too. It was extremely happy, and then it hits you with that like really dark turn, and then they hit you with a
When I say, like, I think I might have traumatized Dan a little bit, I think I actually might have
'Cause he got
traumatized him a
really
little bit.
into it.
Yeah.
He should have knew though. He should have knew something bad was
Oh,
gonna
man.
happen. Though.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah,
You have to, right?
you have to because it's too happy. It's too good to be true.
Expect the unexpected.
But it was
Oh, dude, it was really messed up. I had him go, like, sailing with his dad, and then they, like, get back, and you hear, like, a scuffle at the house, so he goes to, like, run to check on the wife, right? One of these other entities in the universe comes and tries to stop him for a minute. and ends up like he goes like through it because he starts becoming incorporeal. Runs into the house to find his mom dead,
Yep.
like being like held up by one leg, like
Holy
blood dripping
moly.
down, all this horrible stuff.
Yeah, it was extreme,
The
dude.
monster, one of the night terror creatures, is holding her, right? Like blood dripping from the mouth and everything. And then it says in the father's voice, "Do you want to go sailing, buddy?"
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And then that's where I cut off his night terror.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Oh my god!
Dude, it was-
Was there another level? Because
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had
I
another
had like stuff for each person. Like
well, I
That
didn't
kept
know how
going.
many levels you had because the farthest we got was 3 with mine. But
oh yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know how many you had planned out.
It would have
because-
definitely been more if we didn't get to you in time, or you
It
didn't
gets
just.
worse and worse every time.
Yep.
If you couldn't tell.
I could tell.
I'm like really intrigued to
Holy
see how
moly.
my night terror would have been for my character, but
Well-
it's just like I didn't decide to go into a room.
And
And, like,
each of
stay
them
there.
had to be different though too, depending on the person. Like yours was very different from like
Dan's.
Leatva's.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was 2.
because like whereas Dan's was like gruesome, and yours was too. Like it was like
it's a different kind of gruesome.
it's a different kind of gruesome, and Leafa's, it was just like it's uncomfortable, like it's uneasy, and then also Brazil's was also kind of like that unease where it's like everyone's just kind of staring at you, but like yours was like oh
There's a
my
little bit
God.
more to that in
Oh, yeah.
Brazil.
Brazil's was definitely
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole reason everyone is staring at her.
Right.
She has a problem with that.
Right.
She doesn't like
Yeah.
being looked at.
Well, and you guys know who was staring at her, right?
all of her different forms and things that she's thought about,
Yeah.
like hasn't
Right.
even transformed into it. It's just like it's basically it's her own mind, and she doesn't know exactly her identity because she changes into so many people.
I do have a question.
Yes.
And maybe this is just me like reading into it too much as a player, but
Okay.
in each one of our dream sequences, there always seemed to be, and I don't know if you picked up when I asked this question to you, but there always seemed to be one being or one like person in our sequence that wasn't or that didn't have the extreme smile and the yellow eyes.
Was there?
Well,
Yeah.
How weird.
other than maybe
Muhammad and Dan's.
right,
There
Mhm.
was my father and mine.
yeah.
Liz, I can't.
Liz-
I don't think she
Liz was the
She
kid.
did have one.
Liz was the
was
kid.
it. Was it the?
It was the kid.
No, it
No.
wasn't
Was
the
it
kid.
not?
Was it her mentor? It was her mentor,
Then
and
what-
Leafa was. Was it the big crumbly dude?
No, that was definitely the guy that she talked to before that, the sticky fingers guy.
Oh,
It was the kid.
It was the kid.
Whoa.
okay.
So I probably would have had
So
one too.
there was reason behind that.
Yes.
I don't need to know the reason. I just
Well, I mean, it's a
because
it's
I
a
do
way
remember
out.
Me asking you, I was like, does he have the yellow eyes? And you don't remember me asking?
No,
you?
I'm
He
saying
does. He's
no.
saying
He
no, as
doesn't
in,
have
like,
the
no, he
yellow
doesn't,
eyes,
yeah.
not the smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd you like the council?
Dude, I love the council.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
it was
okay.
dwarves, humans, elves.
It was everybody.
It was everybody.
To get a little because we're talking to people, we need to give them a little backstory.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we talked about Dan's dream sequence or Edwin's dream sequence. For mine, do I start off? No. Okay, so if my first sequence was when I was a child, and me and my father go to this gladiator arena, and two really strong gladiators are at just ends with each other. It's kind of a stalemate almost. And
Yep.
my father asked me, he's like, well, what should I do? And gives me the option to decide kind of their fate. And I was like, well, did I say kill one of them?
You said give a shield to the guy with the
Not at first.
not first.
Not at first.
But you said do like I want to do this, but I don't think it's right.
That's right. I wanted
Yeah.
to. I was like, I want this to happen, but if you're asking for what I should do, because it was a champion versus a
Yeah.
not champion gladiator. Like he should have lost right away, but for some reason he was still winning.
Yeah.
And then I was like, give the shield to the weaker opponent to give him a fair shot.
Give him compassion.
And then my father's like, wrong.
hold my beer.
And the guards all opened up for a path for him down to the arena. He grabs this huge warhammer / battle axe thing that emits ice, and slams it across both of them and kills both of them.
Yeah, he slams it
Oh,
into the ground,
slams
and
it
like
in-
ice shards like come up and they impale
It's
them.
pretty
Holy
cool,
moly.
Yeah.
dude.
It was pretty baller.
Cool.
For my first dream sequence, it wasn't like very heartfelt and touching like Dan's, but it's like
My dad's kind of strong.
that's BA. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Also showed how he fathers his son.
yeah. He's kind of
Ruthless.
a big like D-bag.
Well, I'm kind of a
But, like,
pompous
a-
ass in the campaign, so
Yeah, but it
Eh,
was
that was the first sequence
Yeah.
because everyone went through 2, but I had 3 because
you had
I was
3
last.
you were last because we decided on a.
I loved your second one. The second one was a lot of fun. I figured everybody would probably get to 2.
Yeah.
Yep. So in the second one, I awake in my room.
Yep.
That was it. The room that because I couldn't. How did you describe it? It was the room that I was familiar to, and nothing seemed out of place. Like I had just waken up, and
It's just another day.
from a character standpoint, yeah, it was just another day in the castle, and I was gonna go find my father and go train and blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. So I exit my room and I find a servant. I'm like, where's the Dominus?
What, sir?
And I'm like, where's the Dominus at? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, where's my father? He's like, my liege, I don't know what you're talking about. And at that point, I'm like, my liege? What does that mean?
Mm.
And then I speak to him. I'm like, well, gather my father's council. I want to speak to. I want to talk to everyone. I show up to the council. I sit in my normal right beside the big throne because I have no idea that. Spoiler: I'm the frickin' king now, or the Dominus now.
Yep.
Psych.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
So then the council sits at the table, or all the council members sit down at the table. It's not the normal council, like Matt said earlier. It's mix of races. It's
Which
dwarves,
the
humans.
backstory for this is that primarily each race kind of has their own continent, except for the human one. They are pretty open for everyone, but
But
not
now-
atypical of this nation.
Yeah.
Yep. So all the people show up, and I sit in my side throne chair, and then who does the person that came to sit next to me? Does he have a name, or
I don't think any of
or
them
is it
had
just
a
some
name.
random associate of mine that I trusted highly? I'm guessing since he sat next to me. Okay, I didn't know if.
I don't know how much I want to tell you.
Oh,
Fair
fair enough. Okay, fair enough. I'll respect that. So this person comes up to me as I'm sitting in this side throne, and they're like,
Bruh.
he essentially said, "You're in my spot." I'm like,
You're in my seat.
"What are you talking about? This is my seat." He's like, and the whole council like laughs, like I'm a fucking idiot, and he's like, "You sit up there, in the main seat." I'm like,
And one of the dwarven
Yep.
compatriots was like, looks like he's had too many, ha
Yeah.
ha ha. Now take your seat.
"Yep."
Yeah.
And then it clicks. Finally, it clicks. Oh, I'm the leader.
I'm the new
Of-
Dominus.
yep.
Yeah.
So I finally sit down, and I basically have the whole council catch me up on what's been happening for the last
Let me.
X
You
amount
know,
of years.
I like the line that you said in the campaign where it's just like, give me a full year recap
Yes.
of everything that's happened in the past year since I've been Dominus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
That's what the council
The
was
council is like, dude, that's not our job.
We can't just it was like
Well,
he went
better
from
be
like
now.
it went from like what happened in the last few days to can you just give me what happened this whole year? And I'm just like,
Just give me a quick recap of the year.
just tell me what I've
yeah.
just tell me what I've done because I forgot
Like
the
a YouTube
whole,
rewind.
Yeah.
Yep. Spotify.
Aha, that's hot.
remix. But essentially, I figured it out, and I blamed it on the drunkenness the entire time.
Yeah.
And I finally figured out that I overthrew my father's kingdom, took over, killed all my family, had them hung outside of my castle for
On the walls.
On the walls.
blood dripping and everything.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It
Very
was
gruesome. There are piles of skeletons outside the castle and just very dark medieval.
yeah, he basically turned to become worse than his dad and it was just like Wow, that's crazy.
Also, my wolf's gone.
And Una was gone, which was
Yeah, Una's gone.
that's his real night terror. It's just
I
Una's
asked
not there.
Matt because as I was taking the throne, I asked him. I was like, "Where's Una?" And he's like, "You don't know."
Nah.
Yep.
Plot
And
twist.
I was like,
you
I was a
took
little
her out.
heartbroken inside. I'm like, oh,
Plot
damn,
twist. Una
that sucks.
Una was
Is in
having
your
her
weapon.
own night terrors.
Yeah.
That's okay. I didn't want to hear about those. It would make me a little sad. Anyway, essentially, I'm talking to the council, and then I hear my father's voice talking to me, like behind me. But as when Matt's describing how the council's reacting to me, it seems as though, specifically one of the council members, but like as a whole, they seemed to think I was becoming weaker, and they were starting to question my ability as a leader.
Yeah.
I can't. How did you? It was one of the humans.
Yep.
One of the humans had a. I think Matt described it as a dingo looking over its prey.
Like they were hungry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, just sizing you up, like taking you all in, and
Mhm.
understanding that you were slipping in his mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I didn't want to look back to show more. From a role playing standpoint, I knew at that point I can't look back at this, even though I really wanted to. I finally I talked to the council, and they start to end the terror, the second terror. They start getting these yellow eyes and big, unnatural grins on their faces,
Yep.
and then that's where the second one ends. And the third one begins with me sending them away. Right?
Yeah.
I essentially am like, I'm too drunk for this. I have what I need. Go away.
Yeah.
Be gone with you. And then I finally look back, and it is my father standing there. And that's where I asked Matt the question. I'm like, or we start talking, and we talk about how,
Indeed.
how he's been training me for this, and this is my destiny, and all this different stuff. And when we're talking, I asked Matt, I'm like, does he also have the yellow eyes and unnatural grin? And Matt's like, nope.
Nope.
And at that point, me and my father go to this, what is it called?
There's a tree in the central plaza.
Yeah, we walk to, both of us don't leave the castle. We walk to this, like, balcony.
Mm-hmm.
We walk to a balcony, we're overlooking the kingdom, and we're talking. And then Matt points out that there's a tree in the central courtyard with a human woman figure and a half-elven, similar to, how did you describe the second one?
It was like a half elven boy who looks a little like familiar to you.
Mm-hmm. Something
A bit
like
younger.
that. A little younger, but similar.
Someone who could
similar
get in
to
your way.
Yep, someone who could potentially get in my way, but didn't, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where I met the crossroads, because I asked Matt that question because I'm like, Dan's dream had the literal saving God in it.
Yeah.
And the God did not want him to go into the house, and he did, and it ended poorly. But dang, I really wanted to see if that was my mom and my brother hanging from that tree. So I went down. I left my father, which I think was dumb of me to do.
But as a character,
I wanna
You'll
makes
notice
sense.
everyone left their mentors or mentor figures.
Yep.
Yep.
Which was dumb on all of our parts.
No, I mean it's a character thing. It's like I want to see what's going on.
It certainly said something to me as the dungeon master.
Oh,
I'm
really?
not- yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know what you guys were going to do when you were in the Night Terrors.
It's fair.
Yeah, you just laid it down for y'all to go through.
It was actually kind of, I kind of messed it up a little bit because I went down to the tree.
You didn't mess it up.
I didn't.
Yeah.
In my mind, I did a little bit because I foreshadowed it, and so Matt.
Oh, I know
Yeah,
what you're going to talk
he
about
flipped the
now.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
Matt
slipped
set
up.
it up as kind of ambiguous that the human mother, and Matt and I know my backstory, so I knew fully what he was talking about, and I had like a 95% assurance that who he was describing, I knew who it was, but I flubbed up the line and I said who it was, and I was like, ah. So in my mind, I knew it was my mother,
Yeah.
But I wanted to confirm that, so I went as a character. I went down there and looked, and I asked. I was like, "Is the human mother, or is the human woman in the tree my mother, or something like that?"
It was like,
Mhm.
is my mother?
Yeah,
and
I
they
said-
said, is the human?
I said, "Is my mother?" Crap. Is the human woman in the tree my mother? And yeah, I was like, but I mean, they were gonna find out eventually.
Mhm. There was one time when you were talking, I think, to the council, and you were like, "Where's the rest of my family?" or something like that.
Yeah.
And I got to deliver a line that I had written down in case he asked about it, and it was something along the lines of like, "Oh, you took care of that." And it's like, "Well, I need you to find them."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Sir, you allocated a lot of resources and were tenacious in finding them."
Yeah. Like he found and hunted every
Yep.
Stuttgartian.
Yeah, everybody that would like stand in his
Jeez.
way.
Well,
Yeah.
because I needed to know how far.
And then he found out that he also was past the Earthbreakers Pass, which is the edge of your kingdom.
Oh.
Was
Yeah.
Not
in this
anymore.
night terror reality,
Yeah.
it was further than that. Yeah.
So he basically was
Wow.
able to successfully like overthrow his dad and cause an entire coup while also holding down a lot of like areas. And he also gave some property, like a really big property, to somebody to keep.
Well, yeah, I assigned people to watch over it. and-
Yeah. So he's like, it's successful, but also it's like at what cost?
Well, he didn't give it up.
Nah.
They were foreign powers that were helping you.
Mm.
Yep.
It's like how France helped the
Yeah.
U.S. during the Civil War.
Fair enough. Fair
Not
enough.
Civil War.
Yes.
The War for
Revolution.
Ye old
Independence. Yeah,
Civil
Revolutionary.
War.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So,
essentially the third dream kind of wraps up with me going down to the courtyard and looking over the bodies, and
Yeah.
then does the council come out?
No.
No. Is
No.
it, okay, so
The council come back after.
Yeah.
after okay, so what happens is so I walk down to the tree where these bodies are hanging, and I ask Matt essentially who they are, and he says they're your mother and your brother, and I tell Matt, or I tell the whole party, I'm like, well, as I look over my mother, I shed a tear because knowing what I know,
It was appropriate.
Yeah.
yep.
Yep.
But I
Yeah.
then say, once I look over my brother, this tear goes away, or the tears exist no more, and a smirk comes across my face. And then Matt tells me this: the heads pop up, and they untie their own. Do they untie their own knot?
Yeah, they untie their noose.
They untie their own noose, drop from the ground.
And they have the yellow eyes and big old
Yeah.
grin, and
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and they like start like a body dysmorphia, like, you know,
that's
growing like,
freaky.
long and gangly, and they start running towards him. And he goes to look the other direction, and it's the council like crawl running on the ground, all elongated with the yellow eyes and the
Oh,
smiles.
that's
coming for
terrifying.
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
It ooh.
Man, that's
Yep.
where you
And
dig
is
your
that
own
where
grave
that-
right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I told them that I shared my nightmares with them for the session. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
that's where it ended, right, for the third one.
Yeah.
So, I have a little bit. I'm just curious because I love talking to you about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In the first one, to end it, I after the arena, I have to go back to my room and do studies with it's not a mentor, but
It was like your teacher.
a teacher,
Yeah.
an assigned teacher for me,
Mhm.
because I'm a prince and I'm rich as fuck, so I get
Yeah.
my own teacher. How are you expecting me to play along with that? Because I only rolled with undercommon because we were in the we were in the underdark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know where you were going to go with that. But I knew what the teacher knew, and I knew that you had taken some languages. So I'm like, okay, well, this is a good moment for somebody who's not a total piece of garbage to, have a moment with you.
Gotcha. I didn't know if that was like how far you had planned with that.
I had general ideas of where it was going to go, obviously, but
Gotcha.
I don't like to like shove you into like a specific
Yep.
action.
Yeah.
That's no fun.
Right.
No.
No, it was a good moment. It was, I guess, in the first, because with Dan's and everyone else's, their first dream sequences is pretty lighthearted.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of
Not at the end. Not at the end of their first one.
Yeah,
Never at the end of any of them.
It starts off kind of quaint, and then it gets uneasy.
Mine ended
Well-
pretty nicely.
Right, but yours also went longer.
Yeah, yours was the longer one.
I mean, your next ones were longer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
And you were at the end of the hallway, so I kind of figured they would get to you last.
You really thought they were gonna go to?
Yeah.
They were deciding between Brazil and
Yeah.
me. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna say I am more OP than Brazil, and I'm not gonna say that in front of Liz. I'm just not gonna do that.
I'm more powerful. But please let the cards decide who wants to be
It's not
saved.
like I have a 75 HP wolf that can rip through everything and
But
tank a lot.
Maybe it was also the fact of just like I kind of want to hear more about Zion's night terrors.
Yes, and I love sitting at -3 strength.
Bro, it's not like it's
Now
permanent.
you're just
Dude,
stuck.
and guess what? At the end of the session, nobody stayed up for watch.
I stayed up. I stayed up.
Yeah.
I stayed up for like a little bit.
Okay, everybody, let's
But
just go
I
to
got
sleep.
I got to roll a random encounter, just see what would happen.
Oh,
I got a little
gosh.
table of stuff that can happen.
Yeah.
So you written down like
So
Yeah.
by the end of the session,
interesting.
basically everyone was absolutely exhausted because
They used up almost all their healing potions. Edwin had been out of spells for the longest time. Everybody had like 1 or 0 strength. It was
Jeez.
like other
I was
than
in comatose,
like other than
so I
me,
couldn't do
Yeah.
jack
Zion
squat.
literally couldn't get up,
like other than
even if
me,
he wanted to.
I was just like, yeah, everyone else is kind of out like a light, you know, and that was like,
Let me out like a
that
light.
was like the time to just be like, okay, so I'm just gonna meditate and talk to my patron for a while, see what my next plan of action is with that. Then I got up and like walked around, and I'd stared at like the pool at like a self-reflection kind of thing for a while, and then I like stayed up for watch for like 2 hours, and then the fatigue got to me and I went to bed. So I was like, I need to I also, because dude, the amount of times that I get messed up in these fights, like from other people in our party and like the creatures. Like one time,
Oh god, we didn't even talk about that.
yeah, like Brazil's like creature eclipse, which is what, like a puma
It's a
panther
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, so that thing bit the crap out of my leg,
Yeah, she rolled max damage.
and she rolled max
Holy
damage,
moly.
which took me from like 15 to like a 3. And then I get smacked across the room. So I'm like, so they had to use their first one on me for that. Then the second time was like, I got mollywopped again. So they had to use like healing word and stuff on me. And at this point, my character's just like, I'm getting real sick and tired of going in and out of darkness. Like, I gotta
Sarah
stop.
actually got to roll her first death saving throw.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
she was.
she apparently had never rolled a death save before that. It's crazy to me.
Well, I'm guessing, because she plays a lot of Pathfinder.
Still
But,
death saves in Pathfinder, I'm pretty sure.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Mhm. It might be a little different, but it should still be about more or less the same.
That was pretty cool for her.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised
Not
I
that
didn't.
she died, but
Yeah, that you gotta have that.
Surprised
experience.
I didn't have to throw any death saving throws, but that was just because
because
the party was like.
throwing potions
that's
left and right at you because you had 1, the centipede, and 2, the strength of a god compared to the rest of us.
I was incredibly like the Eldritch Blast was
Yeah,
the
also-
only reason I did any good with that, because I was hitting.
You
like
used your glaive a couple
I
times.
used my glaives a couple of times, but I was missing with that. Whereas I have like a +6 with my Eldritch Blast, so it's like I can just roll, and if I get at least above like a 7, 8, 9,
Mhm.
most of the time it'll hit something. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then it's like a D10 and a +4, so it's like, hey,
I'm ready for the next installment of your story.
Like specific
Of
the whole
group.
thing.
I
Yeah.
am.
I already have
Interested.
the. I have a possible. It's not the only one, but I have a possible location set up.
I
Yeah.
the one thing that I'm just excited for,
Oh,
because
and did you guys didn't talk about the monster?
like the big humanoid. Oh yeah, there was also a creature lurking in the sea that was bigger than
The Sunless Sea.
The Sunless Sea, yes.
Oh,
That's bigger than the Leviathan that we met in a like previous session,
kidding.
which was like.
That thing is huge.
And I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who probably saw it, and
Yep.
I've been keeping it to myself this whole time.
Yes, you have.
Wow, you like doing that.
Well, Well, also,
He's not the only one.
given the fact that,
True.
yeah, I
feel
you,
like
you
even though
you tell me.
I feel like I'm the most
guys sound like
forthcoming of the
hypocrites over
party.
here.
Well, no
I'm
one's.
a pompous ass, so boop-a-doo.
I just have no reason to talk about it yet, because nothing's come
Yeah,
up where I'm
that's
like,
true.
well, I guess I have to explain my life. You know,
That should be something that should come up a lot. Sorry for yawning.
it's all good.
You're fine.
But like, the one thing I'm excited for, because I know, like from a metagame standpoint, I basically know kind of everyone's backstory. Not like everyone, not like to a T, but I kind of know like where they come from, like a little bit.
You know, like the first line of a pencil, that's like when it's still like super sharp.
Yeah.
That's maybe what everybody knows about each other's backstories.
Yeah.
I still have the entire pencil to go.
Dang.
Other than
Would
like,
you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's farthest along on mine, but
Yeah.
I would say a little more. I mean, Brazil's is really detailed,
know.
so Brazil's is kind of
Well,
harder.
I also feel like
Leofa's is
Say-
there.
Lafas and Brazils are very complicated.
Yeah. Mine.
yeah.
I mean, there's been. I know Matt mentioned mine at one point. Very small detail, because that was when we were all like having our little dream sequence on the vessel for the first time, and then we all had like flashes of a memory. I had one, but I don't think anyone really like.
It wasn't so much like flashes of a memory
Yeah.
as it was like, well, I guess it was memories, wasn't it?
It was just-
it was more like a purposefully hurtful
Yeah.
representation of a memory. So maybe it was like that's the memory, but it's purposefully like shifted in a way to
it's
make it
twisted.
even worse.
Yeah, and like
Ooh.
it was more like if you didn't
Well,
hear
you were
it.
there for that one.
Yeah.
That's
You were there.
when you're. That's when you saw the undead kid
Oh,
and the
yeah,
undead
yeah.
woman, and
Yeah, like if you didn't.
I had that kick, awesome song in the background.
Yeah, if you didn't.
So good. Sorry.
If you didn't hear
Let's pat myself on the
like
back.
what Matt said, then that was like the only thing kind of resembling a backstory for me. Everything else, like I know Leofa at one point asked me where I got my powers from, and I was just like studying. I studied it.
Well,
But other-
Dan did the same thing to me. He was like, "Well, you seem to be ba-doo-ba-doo." Like it was like one of the first or second sessions. He was like, "So, I can't remember what he said because it was
Right.
like one of the first or second." I was like,
Crazy.
Crazy, I know.
That's weird.
Yeah. So I am.
I think he recognized you.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
because we come from the same kingdom."
Right.
Yeah.
He's just
Dominion, but yeah.
hmm
sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
But like, I kind of want to like at the same time I'm like I kind of want to see how people are gonna react to what I have, because like no one even knows.
You don't even know the full extent of what you
That's
have.
the thing too, because I'm like I know what I know, and because I did kind of was just like, Matt, if you want to just go on ahead and just
I did.
put some building blocks on top of what I got, we're good to go, because I like what I like have so far. I mean, my patron is still like I don't know anything about him up to like the things that I've written in notes from like dreams that I've had that may be him, but that's about it. And then there's also the stuff that I just know that I'm kind of excited to just see play out with like relating to just what I wrote in my backstory. And I'm just like, that's gonna be nice. Hopefully, I mean, whenever it comes, I'll be like excited for it. But I'm not asking like the DM to like, come on, bro, let's get to me. I need to know. People need to know who I am.
Well, this episode was kind of, or not episode. Well,
But the
it's kind of
session-
an
Kind of an episode, but
yeah, this session was definitely you focused.
Yeah, it was more situational because I was the only one who didn't go in a room. Like it could have been anybody's if they just decided not to.
There was a session when we were running through the old mansion, where
Ceruleans.
Yep,
Yeah.
Cerulean. Yep, where
Good times.
me and Cerulean just went off exploring,
Yeah,
and the whole party just you were there for.
yeah. We all just kind of vibed while we waited for
Yeah.
Zion.
I had to like tiptoe through my way through the upstairs, and that
Yeah.
one was very, I would say, very Zion
Zion-centric,
focused.
yeah.
Whereas this one was very
Oberyn focused.
Oberyn focused, and I think that was good. I
Yeah,
liked it.
It gave me some character because I don't talk much in the
Yeah, you got to make a deal in the dark.
I made a deal with Lucy. So I'm gonna call him from now on.
Lucy.
And I can't
I'm
wait.
sure he would love that nickname. You should definitely call him that when you see him.
Yeah, I know. Because they were like, you should call him like Lucy or Lucille or something. I'm like, I'm not.
I am going to not do that.
Yep, I'm gonna be like, my character.
That thing will kill me.
My character is not the kind of person to make quips and jokes at
That
a
would-
being like that.
That would be an
That would be
Edwin thing.
an Edwin or maybe even a Zion thing,
Zion would be like,
but not me.
"What's up, Lucy?
I'm just
Dick."
he's my
Flips
character.
middle finger and walks away.
My character is serious, but he has flaws, and thus he knows he's like. Because at some point I asked my patron like I'm not really fit to lead people, and I know that my decisions have cost people their lives before.
Remember what he said back?
And he was like, you have to trust your friends. You know.
That was a very party building moment.
Hey, you got friends for a reason.
Yep. And that's
so heartwarming, like
that's-
an enemy.
and that's just how my character is. He's just like
Yeah.
like I've
Made
made
the episode that would be called Night Terrors.
yeah.
Gotta have a good ending.
Friends.
It was just like my main like I guess my biggest flaw would just be like I've made decisions in the past that would be unwise to take and that cost people. So it's like I don't want to make another rash decision and lose more people than I already have. And so that's kind of what he you know at the same time he cares about them. So he's kind of considering them his friends at this point where he's like these are the people that I have. I just don't know if I'm fit enough to be like a leader or even just make those decisions when it comes to it, which is currently what I have now for a character arc until we see what
I
happens.
like it.
Which could, well, never mind.
Yeah, you guys need a team name too.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten. Well, let's get through
Yeah.
them rehabilitating back to their full strength, and then we'll
Yes.
figure out a team name.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I think on that note, that's a pretty good place to end
Yep.
tonight's podcast.
Hoorah.